Hello, this is Alex from phpacademy.org, and in this video for the new Boston we are going to be looking at if statements within PHP. Now, an if statement is a statement that lets us to compare, or not compare, or evaluate something, whether it's true or false, and act on that. For example, in real life situations you would say, if I did this there would be an outcome, or otherwise if I didn't do this there would be another outcome. And we can demonstrate this. I'm going to show you the syntax first of all, and this is just simply if, and then we have two brackets where our statement to be evaluated goes inside here, and then we start a curly bracket, we come down a few lines and we end a curly bracket. Then what we do is we basically come in and put our statement in here. So for now I'm going to say if 1. Now, true. So the way this reads is if 1 echo true. Now 1 by itself is a statement within programming in general that will evaluate to true. It's there, it's 1, it equals 1, it's 1, there's no comparison, it just equals true. Otherwise we echo false. Okay, so we're basically saying if 1 on its own, if this is true, we execute this block here. This is called a block. Otherwise, by using the else keyword, execute this block here. What's highlighted in blue at the moment is a block. So this is how we write it out. You might see it's sometimes written like this. This is a lot of an easier way to read it. If you're new to programming, it doesn't matter how you write it, but generally I write like this. So this block here will be executed if 1 is true, which it is and it always is, and otherwise this block here will be executed. So let's just run this in our browser and see what happens. We're being displayed with the text true because this is true. Now what about if 0? Now you can probably guess that 0 is an automatic false. 1 is true and 0 is false. So in this instance, putting a 0 in, we're evaluating 0. Is 0 true or false? It's false. So we should be displayed with the text false. The same as if we were to write true, this would equal true. And if we were to type in false, this is equal to false. Now this is pretty boring. We want to start making some comparisons inside. So I'm just going to use an example of one of the comparison operators, which is double equals. And this means is equal to. And it looks like this. And either side of it you're going to do your values to compare. So I want to say does 1 equal 1. Now this reads as does 1 or is 1 equal to 1, and because 1 is equal to 1 we're going to be executing this block. If 1 wasn't equal to 1 we'd be executing this block. So let's just run that, and that's true. Now I'm going to change this to is 1 equal to 2, and obviously that is false. So you can see how this block here, this is called an if else statement because we're using the keywords if and we're using the keywords else. You can have an if statement just on its own. If it doesn't happen to equal true, we're just in this case not going to output anything because there's no else to tell us what to do otherwise. So now let's just return back to that. Now what we can do is we can start saying things like if, and we can have a variable up here. We'll say text equals let's say something. So if text equals something, echo true. In this case we will be echoing out true to the screen because it is true. Otherwise echo false. So now what I can do is change this to, let's say, something else. It doesn't equal that, so we're going to be displayed with false. So that is the basic structure and the use of an if statement. We have this is basically called an if else statement. So we've got if, else, and depending on whether this statement here is evaluated to true or false, we echo out the corresponding block.